Why, hello there, everybody. It is me, Natalie Diaz, Fancy Pants founder of Twiniversity and author of What to Do When You're Having Two. I'm very excited that we're doing this again. If you've noticed, we've done this before in our Twiniversity family where we have kind of suckered families into talking to us through their twin pregnancy because we love it. So we've done it again, and we're still connected with Erica and Kylie, and like we're so lucky that we have this great group of moms who share their lives with us. And I want to introduce you guys to our new I don't want to say the word, but this is our new mom, Jessica. Jessica, hi.
Hi.
I can't believe this. I'm so excited. So now for all of you that are watching, Jessica and I have never met before. This is literally our first introduction. I didn't even talk to her too much before because I just wanted to jump on and talk with you guys. But Jessica, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know the only thing I know is that you're from Florida and you're 16 weeks pregnant. That's all that I got, which is a lot, which is enough that I already know I love you. Because if you have two buns in the oven, you're one of us now. So give us a little bit of the background about your history, about kind of how you ended up here sitting next to me virtually at Twiniversity.
Okay, well, I am 32, almost 33. My birthday's next month, and I am a registered nurse. This is not my first pregnancy either. This is my third pregnancy. My family, we are a blended family. So I have an 11-year-old stepdaughter. I have a 10-year-old son. I have an 11-month-old son. And now I'm having twin identical monochoriotic diamniotic twin girls.
That's a mouthful. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So you have an 11-month-old,
Yes.
and then you planned your next pregnancy of twins, right? Because that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. That's triple stroller town is where you
Yep.
are.
I have my triple stroller. Twins don't run in the family, so it's a huge surprise on that ultrasound.
Oh my gosh. I'm in shock. I mean, I remember because now I remember watching your video, and when Julie and I saw the video, I was like, we have to talk to her. Like
Oh,
that is honestly like awesome because this is not your first rodeo. So hopefully the pregnancy, knock on wood, isn't as scary as it would have been for your previous if this was your first pregnancy, and you definitely know the ropes as far as parenting goes,
right.
so that's kind of fun. But when you found out, did you find out that you were pregnant first and then went to the doctor, or did you went go to the doctor and they're like, by the way, we found some twins?
No, I did know that I was pregnant. I found out just maybe before I was 4 weeks pregnant that I was expecting, and oddly enough, I was instantly had pregnancy symptoms. I mean, I was nauseous. I was sensitive to smells. I was tired, and that wasn't normal. So I was immediately texting my friends, like, how am I going to feel in 6 weeks if this is how I
Mm.
feel now? Like, what's going on? This is not normal. And then about 7.5 weeks, I had an ultrasound to confirm the pregnancy. And then that's when I got the amazing news.
Dum dum dum. Oh, now who were you, by yourself? Was somebody with you?
Oh, I was by myself because of the virus situation, so we're not allowed to bring anybody. So I was very much by myself.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
tough. Okay. So obviously you did not expect twinnies were going to be there. So how did you feel when they told you?
Well, the ultrasound tech was acting a little funny, and I was actually getting nervous. She was asking me strange questions like, "Have you ever had pregnancy complications before?" And just a lot of silences and
Okay.
awkward pauses. And uh, finally, she was like, "Well, I see two babies here," and my head just like shot up. I was like, "What?" And she goes, "I mean, can't you see it?" And I said, "Well, now that you say
Yeah.
it, but I wasn't looking for
Of
that."
course. Who's looking for twins?
So I actually I cried, I was happy and so scared and just shocked. I mean, I was just like so overwhelmed, and there was no one to hold my hand, just this stranger, giving me this news very unemotionally. Um, So it was definitely a lot to take in, especially already just having a baby. You know,
Yeah.
he was only 8 months old at the time.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So now we find out that it's twins. You leave the doctor's office. Who do we call first?
Mom.
Of course we do. Of course we do, because that's how we do things. I want to say like, oh, is that right? I would do the same thing. So yeah, I'm with you. So you call your mom, and do you tell your mom it's twins, or do you tell her that you're pregnant? How does that conversation go?
Well, so I FaceTimed her. I didn't even leave the ultrasound room yet. And I told her, she knew I was pregnant, but I just said, I'm having twins. And she was like, what? Like, I don't know if I should be happy for you or scared for you. Like,
Yeah.
that was her honest reaction. And I was so overwhelmed. And I wanted to tell my husband in person. So I actually went straight to my mom's office. She's a nurse practitioner and just needed a hug and just a little support. And oh my
Yeah.
God. And then I went home. And that's when I told my husband and my two older kids all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. I was like, do you wait to tell the older kids? Because they're certainly old enough to know what's happening.
Yeah. I would have wanted to wait, but I was
Mhm.
so sick and they've just been through this a year ago that they knew, something was up. So I couldn't really keep it from them because I just didn't, I felt so awful,
Yeah.
like, and I felt like they explanation as to why,
Mhm.
I wasn't myself. So I did tell them.
And what was your husband's reaction?
I actually have this on video. I should probably send it to you because it's
Yes.
hilarious. So I got everybody around the table and I had the ultrasound pictures out and I said, so, like, this is the baby. And they were like, oh. And I go, and this is the baby. And they all go, no. There's two babies. This is going to be hard. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry that was your first reaction. I think that's so many people's first reaction is just the challenges that twins pose. And it's not even the challenges of pregnancy. I think that they're like, that's a lot of diapers to change. That's a lot of bottles to hold. It is, well, listen, we've unfortunately been around the block with twins often here. To us, you're not that special that you're having twins. You're just one of us. But
right.
it is for like the regular universe. If you don't have twins in your family, it is crazily overwhelming. But I'm so were they happy or was it like sheer terror? Please send one back to the fire station or something.
It was a mixture. It was definitely total shock because I mean that's just the last thing anybody was expecting.
Yeah.
Um, but then just like laughing, like how are we gonna do this?
Oh my gosh.
Because
Well,
we
yeah,
have a 3 bedroom house on top of it, so
that's still pretty big though. I mean, in comparison.
yeah,
Oh yeah, compare like to me, I don't need, I'm still hoping someday I'll have a bathtub. It's my dream.
right,
It's my and a closet that I could call my own. Oh, yes, I have very low expectations. So when I hear people that are like, "Oh, we have a three-bedroom house," I'm like, "You know what, Jessica? I could still move in there. You wouldn't even notice me. I don't even I travel light." So now that we are 16 weeks into the pregnancy, how have you noticed that this has been different besides kind of the heightened your spidey senses heightening, which is totally classic twins, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm glad nobody told you before then because you would have kind of been thinking about it the whole time. But
right.
what are some of the other things that you've noticed that have been different this go around?
Well, besides just being more sensitive and I
Mhm.
guess more sick and more tired, I definitely show way more and quicker than I ever have before. Um, I mean, to me, I look 6 months pregnant at least. Um, so that's
Wow.
definitely different. And just I think the preparation factor. I think having done this twice already,
Mhm.
one baby's one baby. I've done it. I thought I was going to have all these clothes. I had everything saved. And now it's like, well, not only are you having one and it's a girl, but now you're having two. So it was more just like, like practically, like, how
Yeah.
are we going to do this? So that we're still figuring that out now. But
Good times. Now, how's your pregnancy been? Because it is with the type of pregnancy that you have, it's a little bit more challenging than the average twin pregnancy. So what, like, are you having, have you noticed that you have a different series of tests than your singleton pregnancy? Like medically, what's been different from your previous pregnancies?
Medically, well, I've had already 3 ultrasounds, and just being 16 weeks, so that's definitely different.
Mhm.
But so far, I do have placenta previa,
Mm,
but other than that, everything looks good. I actually had an ultrasound yesterday and some blood
okay.
work done, so everything besides that has been pretty so far standard.
Okay.
Um, Thankfully.
Thankfully is right. Yeah, it is more challenging and it's horrible because it's like I never want anybody to worry. And honestly, I never want to, like, I really don't because there's nothing we could do about it. And that's the interesting part, especially about, the higher risk type of identical pregnancy that you have is that there's literally nothing we could do about it. So you just kind of have to stay off your feet, drink your water, try to chill as much as possible. Did they give you an approximation of what they anticipated happening during your pregnancy?
Well, I actually have a pretty complicated past pregnancy history.
Okay.
My first pregnancy, I had preeclampsia, and which led to a HELP syndrome. So I had a bunch of bleeding issues for months and months after. And I had a little bit of postpartum depression as well. And then my last pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes, as well as thrombocytopenia. So I also had another platelet
Okay.
issue as
Tell us a
well.
little bit about that for folks that aren't familiar with clotting issues. What did that, how did they even find that?
Just standard blood work, just a typical like complete blood count or a CBC, and they look for your platelets, which is like your ability to, well, one of the factors in your ability to stop bleeding.
Hmm.
Um, and a typical normal range could be anything from like 200,000 to 500,000, and mine were like 70,000. So pretty low. And this happened in both of my pregnancies, but
Okay.
fortunately, it did not progress to preeclampsia in
Okay.
the second pregnancy. But I always get this clotting issue.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's really hard for them to say what's going to happen, or how you're going
Yeah.
to feel, or when you're going to deliver, and things are pretty much in the air at the moment.
Now, weirdly, are they finding that the clotting issue has something to do with preeclampsia or they isolated and coincidental?
Well, one of the triad symptoms of the preeclampsia is low platelets, and then protein in the urine.
Yeah.
There's one more, but so that's kind of what we first started thought originally
Okay.
was, okay, this is like one of the classic symptoms, so we got to really be looking out for it.
Hmm.
But thankfully, it never progressed to that. So it's
Okay.
kind of hard to know. Um, what is the correlating factor between the two.
Yeah.
But they said that it would be a miracle if I didn't, have that clotting issue again this time around.
And so are we noticing it this time around?
So far so good. It usually
Okay.
is happening in later pregnancy for me, like 28 weeks and later.
Okay.
Is when
All
that
right.
usually starts showing its face.
You are literally a walking medical chart. Like, look at these. And I don't like for those of you who are familiar with Twiniversity, I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if you know this, but do you know that I have a genetic blood clotting disorder? I had preeclampsia and I also had HELP syndrome and also significant postpartum depression.
I did not know that.
Welcome, we're meant to meet. This is the way. Actually, in Twiniversity classes, I always ask people if they have this specific blood clotting disorder because for us, it's genetic. We found out about it. I don't
Oh,
even remember when we found out about it, but it was bad news bears, man. And I don't know if it was a reason. Like I did not have my twins spontaneously. I had them thanks to the doctors at RMA. So for us, we knew about the blood clotting disorder before the pregnancy. So we were always kind of on like high alert. Now with your blood issue, did you take blood thinners or clotters or like what did you do to kind of, manifest normalcy in your platelet town? I mean, and it's not platelets, it's your red blood cells.
Platelets,
It's your
yes.
platelets, okay.
Right. So they actually originally put me on, and during my second pregnancy, a baby aspirin to try to prevent preeclampsia.
Okay.
But then as soon as they saw all my platelets dipping down, that was canceled. Stopped taking that. And then they pretty much stable. I think the lowest they got was like maybe like 62,000 to
Mhm.
70,000, like in that range somewhere. And then just about a week before delivery, my doctor gave me a really high dose of oral steroids.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, that increases your platelet count temporarily. So just what I really wanted was just enough to be able to have an epidural and not, lose
Yeah.
too much blood during labor. And the cutoff is 100,000. I think mine ended up being like 106,000 by the time I
Wow.
deliver. Of course, my blood sugars then were like almost 400 because of the steroids, but it
Ah,
was just a seesaw,
yeah.
there was.
It is, and it's so weird. Now, like pregnancy is so fascinating to me because like so many things come out during this time and then go away, and then maybe we'll see them later on down the line. Right? So what I was told was that your pregnancy is your window into the future.
Hmm.
So that if you have preeclampsia, you're not going to have heart disease and high blood pressure, but you're more likely to because of whatever. And the same thing with gestational diabetes is that if you had it during pregnancy, you're more likely to, you're not guaranteed to, but you could have an issue with your insulin somewhere down the line. So now with the knowing that this is kind of on the plate for us,
Mhm.
how are they treating anything differently? Like, are you doing the baby aspirin? Are you seeing a nutritionist? Are they requiring you to eat differently?
So far, no. So, no aspirin because of the risk that I'm going to again become
Okay.
have low platelets. And otherwise, they're just basically telling me just to go forward, and we'll see what happens. They're not being really extra cautious. It's more just on me
Yeah.
to do what I need to do.
So what do you think you want to do? Like, do you think like are you going to adapt your diet anyway, just in fear of this, or you're just like whatever? Honest, because truthfully, it is kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, definitely in my pregnancies, I'm never one to just deprive myself of something that I want. But I am being cautious because I'm definitely worried. Last
Yeah.
time I was only on oral diabetic medication. I don't like the idea of like insulin and like, and my last baby was also very big as well from it. Um, so now that I'm feeling better, the first trimester I was just like surviving.
Yeah.
So just eating anything I could keep down,
Ugh,
basically. Grilled cheese was like what I was eating for like 3 months. But now that I'm better, I am
good.
trying. I'm
Okay.
trying to eat good, healthy fats as much as possible. But if I want a cookie, I'm gonna have a cookie
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely cookie season. So
Right.
yes, that is good because already we have the stress of, our whole crazy pandemic that we have. So let's throw into this an 11-month-old and a higher risk, not high, well, it's higher risk twin pregnancy. It's a lot. So yeah, you definitely if you want to lean on the cookies, I'm fully behind you on that. I will happily send you maybe a lower sugar cookie or
Sounds
something, a
great.
breakfast cookie, I think with more oatmeal in it is what they call it. So now you have a lot of stuff with your 11-month-old. Like what, as far as the stuff goes, what stuff are you preparing now in this portion of your pregnancy while you feel good? Because this is like the honeymoon phase.
Right. Well, I actually already have my nursery completely done. I got that done about a week ago because I know how I get really big when I'm pregnant. So I can't even imagine how I'm going to be with two, and what my mobility is going to be like. So we ordered cribs, and now we have 3 cribs in one room. We have like a full on nursery.
Wow.
And otherwise, I've just kind of made room for some of their clothes that we will eventually have. I've donated, my baby son's clothes, um, and so I'm just trying to, just get them some space. I already got my triple stroller And
Good.
what else? And then, just like some like little things here and there. I'll have a little baby shower or a sprinkle for them. Um, but that's mainly it. It was just getting that nursery done, those
Yeah.
cribs together, make sure they have a space to be, and some room for them. you know.
Oh, you definitely need that. What stroller did you get?
I got the Valco Tri Mode. Am I saying that right?
You are, and it's also the stroller I had as well.
Oh, good. It was a good.
It was great. I didn't
Oh,
need it for the triple factor, but the double factor, it was, yeah, it was really, really good. That's a really good, that's like the perfect choice for you guys.
oh,
Like,
good.
I don't think I would have recommended anything but that stroller for you.
I looked into it pretty heavily.
Good for you. Yeah, that is great. So for those of you that are watching, it's a regular double stroller that unfortunately doesn't accommodate car seats, but then once the babies get they get start at birth, right? It's a full recline.
With the car seat adapter too. There's like an adapter you can put in, and then you can put the infant carriers in as
So
well,
it accommodates two infant carriers and the Joey seat.
and the Joey seat.
Okay.
Oh, we also got a new car as well. We just got that yesterday.
What did you get?
We got a Mercedes Metris van. I don't know if
Beautiful.
many people are
Yes.
familiar with it, but it is like a full-size passenger 8-seater van because we're a family of 7 now. So
And if you ever want to have a guest, yes.
exactly,
Or
or
a
a
pet.
pet for one of the kids, or so we just actually got that yesterday.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Did you put money underneath like I am Italian by the culture, and we have this weird, I don't know if other people do it, but whenever you get a new car, you're supposed to put change underneath the floor mat in the second seat.
I did not know that, but we will do that.
Just a few pennies. I don't understand why, but I do know that I used that money once with my first car because I needed gas and I ended up taking all the change to buy
Oh, that's
gas because I was a horribly negligent driver when I was 19. That's how that went. So, but I was like, oh my gosh, thank God we had that change. So yeah, throw it under there, just a few quarters. Don't get crazy. Oh, that's so exciting. And you're willing to talk to us through your whole pregnancy? You have to
yeah.
say yes now because
I'd
we're
love to.
invested. We're invested in this story to see what happens next. Well, this is kind of where I want to wrap it up today because I don't want the spoilers coming. But next week or month or whatever Julie has planned for us, I really do want to talk about like your breastfeeding history and
Correct.
what the new plan is going to be. And then I want to see like what else you did and what else the doctor said. So we're going to check in with you. And I'm so excited that you agreed to do this. I'm honestly like genuinely excited to meet you.
I'm so excited too, really.
And then, you could just call or text me. Now you have my cell number. I just texted you 2 minutes ago, so you could stalk me as much as you want. But guys, if you have questions for Jessica, you could just send them to us at community@twiniversity.com, and then we'll ask as well. So even if you want to remain anonymous and be like, Jessica, tell us about your love life now. What's going on? So we have no problems. We'll ask her anything. She said that there's nothing off the table. She'll probably regret that at some point down the line. But thank you so much for joining us today. Just say bye to the community, but don't hang up on me.
Okay, bye everybody. So nice to meet you, and look forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks.
Bye, guys.